What's up, everybody? It's Justin. He's back here with another video, and today I'm gonna do a video based off Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul that was given to me as a suggestion as my As you guys saw a couple videos ago, I told you guys to give me suggestions if you guys want me to review something, you guys want me to watch a TV show, something like that. Give me suggestions, and I was giving suggestions to review um Breaking Bad seasons 1 through 5, and same thing for Better Call Saul. Um, Now I'll tell you this. Um, when I first started watching Breaking Bad, like the first couple episodes were okay. I personally thought episodes 2 to 5 were better. Seasons 2 to 5 were better because I thought really like season the end of season 2 into 3, um, Walter really turned into Heisenberg. Um, Um, he made up that name. I forgot which episode exactly, but he was talking to he was out in the desert with Jesse, also known as Aaron Paul. Sorry, Aaron Paul, also known as Jesse. He was out in the desert and he said, "Say my name," right to the guy. He kept saying, "Say my name, say my name," and he made up the name Heisenberg. From the end of season 2 to 5, he was Heisenberg. You can also tell because Heisenberg took over Walter because in the later seasons, notice how he's wearing like bright colors in the very beginning, right? In season 1 and like mid to like season 2, right? But in season like towards the end of season 2 into 5, he got more deeper to Heisenberg. He started wearing darker colors, and then he really released Heisenberg on seasons 4 through 5. Also, well, sorry, on seasons 3 through 5, with his wife, Skylar, I think her name was, by the way. I hate her very much because towards the end she was a whore because she made out with Ted, some guy that she used to work with, and some job she used to have in the office or something like that. And she made out with him, and I hate her for that. Um, now, my favorite villain in that whole show was Gus Fring because when in Los Polos Hermanos, his restaurant, he seemed like the nicest guy possible. But when he's not doing like his restaurant work, he's like the most smartest, most conniving villain in the whole show. He was like the smartest guy in that whole show, and I loved him. He was conniving, he was smart, and he was a genius. But he was an evil genius. But I loved him for that. Um, I also love Hector. Um, because Hector, even though he was part of the DEA, Drug Enforcement Administration, I think it's called. But his partner, I forgot his name. Um, I loved Hector because like towards the end of the show, he figured out who who we when Walter replaced Jesse, but I forgot his the guy's name. He replaced him with Jesse, and he wrote in a book his initials, WW, which was also known as obviously Walter White, and Hector couldn't figure that out until the end, and Ted's uncle shot him, and Walter was saying like, "No, don't shoot him, don't shoot Hector, don't shoot Hector, right?" And Hector was like, "You're the smartest guy I've ever known, but you're the biggest like idiot at the same time, right?" And he shot him. That was very I I didn't cry, but I felt low key bad for Hector because I mean, he was trying his best to take down Heisenberg, the biggest drug dealer in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Um, in that time. He made so much money, he didn't have to work a day in his life. His kids can go through college knowing that he has so much money. He can live off that for his entire life until death, right? Um, overall, I give the show 10 out of 10. It had really good moments. It had really good episodes. It had really good characters. And it had really good developments into each other's like characters. Better Call Saul, on the other hand, in the first season, we really got to know who Jimmy McGill was, also known as Saul Goodman. But Saul Goodman, he became known as Saul Goodman later on in the show. He was known as Jimmy McGill, who was when he first started out in HMM. He started out as like basically like the delivery guy for like the office, giving each other like the mails and the packages and whatnot. He's basically the delivery guy for the mail in the office, and then later on he became a lawyer. One of the big reasons he became a lawyer because of brother Chuck, who later in the seasons he became a big asshole. But in the first like two seasons he was okay, like, but he also had a condition where he couldn't go out in the sunlight. I forgot what the condition was called, but he couldn't go out. He couldn't have any electronics really in the house. Something where a magnetic field affects him and his condition. I don't remember the name of it right now, but Jimmy in the first like for two seasons, I mean, I thought he really showed his character. I really thought he showed like who he really was. Throughout the later seasons, I thought he showed his Saul Goodman side, especially towards the last season when he legally changed his name and told his girlfriend Kim like it's all good, man. And I was like, oh, that's where he became Saul Goodman because that's where he got like that's where he became Saul Goodman. Sorry if I keep it being, but I thought in that episode, I don't remember which one it was, but I did watch it on Netflix. If you don't love Breaking Bad, go watch it. If you love Better Call Saul, I highly recommend it. Me and my friend love that show. I actually just watched an episode of Better Call Saul, but I'm not gonna ruin it. I'm not gonna spoil an episode for those who watch it. Just watch it. It's a very good episode. Had a very good ending. Um, for those who are cable, is on AMC. Like I said, I'm not gonna spoil the episode for anybody who watches it, and I'm not gonna spoil Bring It Back for you guys. Go watch it on Netflix. You guys have it. You can also watch it on 123 Movies, I think. And you also watch Better Call Saul. Great shows. Better Call Saul actually came before Bring It Back, which is which is awesome because that's how Jimmy Miguel became Saul Goodman, and we saw like how he really developed into it. We really saw in Breaking Bad how Walter White chasing the Heisenberg over time, and how Heisenberg took over in the later seasons of Breaking Bad, which was two Vegas shows. I was never really a fan of Breaking Bad at first, because I mean I did hear about it. I did see like maybe like a few seconds of like a few seconds of one episode on TV, but I was never a fan of it. So a friend of mine suggested it to me. I was like, you know what, I'll watch it. And like in the first like season, I like it was good. The first two seasons were pretty good. My favorite seasons are seasons 3 through 5, where like I said, Walter White like became Heisenberg and Heisenberg took over, and when he was cooking meth for Jesse, also known as Captain Cook. In the first season, how I noticed that was he said had on his license plate, and Jesse was an old high school student, Walter, from chemistry class, and they became later on the show the two biggest drug dealers, and two of the biggest drug dealers in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they sold tons of meth to, of course, tons of junkies and whatever. They made millions of, sorry, they made a lot of money, and like I said, they could live off that. I think truly, the moment Walter White really became Heisenberg was when Jesse's girlfriend Jane, I think her name was, choking on her own saliva. Um, I think she overdosed or something like that, but she was choking on her own saliva, and Walter was like staring at her like he was looking so bad for, like he was looking at her all shamed and whatnot. Like he was like, oh my god, like should I do something? Should I not? And then Heisenberg kind of took over in that episode, and that's when he really became Heisenberg. But I love that show. I love Better Call Saul, and I hope you guys go watch it. They're both on Netflix. You guys go watch it. I believe on 123 Movies too. Like I said, I just watched an episode of Better Call Saul. It was a great episode. I'm not gonna spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched it yet. Um, Go watch it. It was a fantastic episode. But yeah, a friend of my game is suggesting to review it. Like I said, Breaking Bad episodes, like the first two seasons, I thought were good. The first like season 3, 5 got even better with Heisenberg really coming out of Walter White, and like I said, Better Call Saul seasons 1 and 2 were pretty good. But I thought 3 and 5 were better because that's where Jimmy Miguel really became Saul Goodman and developed the character, and he developed him more than Better Call Saul. I just watched episode 8. If you guys not caught up on it, I'm not gonna spoil it fully. Like I said, if you guys haven't watched the whole season yet, I'm watching the 1 to 3 movies. It's a great season. It's a great show, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, um, I will see you guys on the next video.